Richard, let me come to you. For the PPP, you were organizing a counter petition. Your book got lost. I'm told that, according to your party, efforts were made to even get the presidency to allow you to present what perhaps you collected after losing that book, and yet your party claims you're yet to receive a response from the presidency. But for the PPP, certainly you're not happy with the president's decision.
Well, thank you. Let me say, in fact, we presented a letter to the president's office on Wednesday last week. That was, I think, 17th. And the purpose of our letter to seek a date from the president's office on which we can come and present our petition to the president. In fact, the book that got missing was just one of the books. And so there were several other books that had lots of signatures in it.
So the books were many, well, not just one book for the petition.
One of the books got missing, and it became news.
It's not been retrieved yet, though.
Well, it's not been retrieved yet, but that shouldn't be, a problem. It's not about we being happy about the matter or not, but it's about the security, the safety, the decency, and the discipline in this country. Okay, we are talking. You see, we'll talk about the legal arguments and everything, and then, like you've been asking, doesn't the president have the right to grant these people the pardon? Of course, the president has the right. He has the right. Under the Constitution, he's been given the right to grant pardon whenever he decides to do so. Okay, but you see, rights goes with the exercise of rights must be measured with wisdom and then the situation at hand. Okay,
what do you mean?
You go into the Bible, and the Bible will tell you in Corinthians that everything is lawful, but not everything is helpful. Everything is permissible, but not everything will actually help us. Okay, now look at this scenario. Okay, we have a situation in this country where vituperation on media has become the order of the day. You put on your radio in the morning, you hear people lambasting and insulting people instead of discussing the issues that are at hand. This has become almost like a canker in our media, terrain, getting closer to this election. Okay, and this was an example that the court was trying to set to put fear in people who go on radio and speak just anyhow. Now the president has nipped that effort in the back. Okay, let me give you
how. Explain, because the president has not totally changed everything that the court, or hasn't done anything.
Well, what will the ordinary person standing by interpret this to mean? Okay, here are 3 NDC communicators who are known to be attacking every person or institution that tries to say anything that they think is against the president of this country. Okay, here is Ghana with a prison choked, with a lot of prisoners suffering, with a lot of problems in the prison, with a lot of people who are in prison innocently, some of whom have even petitioned the president severally. And they've not heard anything
have
from
evidence
him.
to show that?
Oh, we can get the evidence when we want it.
But you don't
there
have
are
it.
several petitions
Richard, you don't have it. So don't go there. You stay focused.
You don't just every year things. Every year, the president grants petition to some people.
Pardon.
Okay.
Pardon. That's what you're talking about.
He grants pardon to some people. Some of these pardon that he grants are based on national security advice. Some are based on Council of State advice. Some are based on petitions that the people themselves have brought to the president.
Right.
And then they have considered it and realized that, well, we need to look into this matter, and then we grant them. It's normally done once in a year. Okay. It's not something that whenever you bring your petition to the president, he will set up, he will effect the process into action and ensure that you are granted a petition. And so this shows us clearly that this is a president for only NDC, a president for his party members, because there are other people who need this pardon, who are innocently in prison, because the court system is a system that is managed by humans. It is open to flaws that sends innocent people in there all the time. Are these the first people to go into jail?
Richard, can we agree that as you sit here, we cannot say that Kofi petitioned the presidency and his petition has not been granted.
The fact that I cannot mention Kofi's name doesn't mean there has not been petitions to the president.
No,
that's the point I want us to underscore.
No,
because every year the president
like
grants
if you don't have any
people.
Information, just don't go there.
The general information is that every year the president grants pardon to people.
Right.
And this pardon that he grants, it is not only based on national security reports, but some are based on petitions that are sent to him. Okay, so the fact is that people petition him, and from time to time, the president exercises his prerogative of mercy.
Which is a fact.
The point I'm making right now is that he doesn't exercise that prerogative with the kind of speed and haste that he did with this particular case. And that leaves a lot of questions to be answered. Okay, now look at this scenario. You are married with your wife, you have 3 kids in the house, and you have decided that at 8 o'clock, everybody must put off the television and go and learn. I mean the kids, okay? One of your kids come to you, the daddy, and says, well, mommy has put off the TV, blah, blah, blah. Then she come and cry to you, and then you go back and put on the television for the child. What are you telling the other children? You are telling them to disrespect the mother. You are telling them to stop obeying that rule. You are telling them that it is not important that they put up the television.
Is it as simple as that?
It is as simple as that.
Did you read the statement from the presidency?
Well, the statement is purporting to tell Ghanaians that we should be careful when we go on radio to speak because, but you see, action speaks louder than words. You have acted to show that you are in support of the people who spoke the worst of language on radio to the extent, looking at the history of the NDC, the PNDC, that abducted judges and murdered them. And then on the 30th anniversary...
It is not the PNDC. Certain people were
jailed but who were in charge of the country at the time?
Yes, so you can say that, but don't say the PNDC.
It is the history of the PNDC metamorphosed into NDC. They abducted judges, the judges disappeared, we saw their burnt bodies. And then on the 30th anniversary of that day, your agents go on radio to still purport to say that they want to visit such atrocities on judges. Then you go ahead and release such people when the judges have imprisoned them. You are dividing the nation, Mr. President.
I'm grateful, Richard, for your time there.